morning, ambassadors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, the graduating class of 2013. And welcome. Graduates, this is a very special day for you, but it's also a very special day for your alma mater. The American College opened its doors here 20 years ago, founded by Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. We not only had students from Lynn University, but we had students that were attracted to the institution from Ireland and eventually from all over the world. 62 countries are now represented at our university. You are going to graduate in a few minutes and get your degrees and your diplomas, but you will join the ranks of so many young men and women who have been so successful. So let us begin this occasion, the conferring of the CQQI, which was originally HETEC, and the American College of University commencement. So we look forward today to introduce to you the platform guests and some special people. And I'd ask them to stand. And I introduce Senator Fergal Quinn from the Independent Committee. Welcome. Seamus Mallon in Castlevania, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the American College. Christine Lynn, Chairman of the Board of Lynn Insurance Group and Chairman of the Board of Lynn University, which founded this institution. Alhaja Dr. Ndimi. Dr. Ndimi is the Executive Chairman and CEO of Oriental Energy Resources in Abuja, Nigeria, and Houston, Texas. I'd like also the platform guests, Helen Ross, the First Lady of the American College and Director and Trustee of the College. Anne Green, member of the Board of the American College. Louis Green, member of the board. Dr. Gerald Keene, principal partner at Keene Solicitors and a member of our board. Don Joan Hanley from the Kennedy Hanley Foundation. His Excellency Patrick Fay, the Irish Ambassador to Nigeria. Dr. Rory McIntyre, our academic dean, who will be the Master of Ceremonies today. Please stand. Stephen Chandler, head of the Department of International Business. Dr. Peter Sadowski, head of the Department of Liberal Arts. Marsha Boren, member of the Board of Trustees. Dr. Kathleen Cheek-Milby, the former Vice President and Academic Dean of Affairs at Lynn University. Roland Coffey, Director of Information and Communication at the college. Mihal Denny, Financial Controller. And Colin Corin, Dean of Students. As I mentioned, the Irish American University has students from all over the world, and it is an honor today to introduce you to the Ambassador of the Republic of Nigeria in the audience. Ambassador, welcome. We also have the Ambassador from Ethiopia who is going to graduate from the university today, if you would stand. I'd like to also welcome two young men of Dr. Ndimi's sons, Ahmad Ndimi and Mustafa Ndimi in the audience. And a very warm welcome to Mrs. Quinn, who is the wife of our keynote speaker, and along with his family who are here today. And also, I'm pleased to have my son, Kevin Ross, the president of Lynn University, and Phoebe Chapman, who's also here for Boca Raton. And now let's move on with our ceremony and introduce our academic dean.
Good morning. I'd like now to invite Jesse York to the podium to give the student address on behalf of the class of 2013.
Excellencies, President, Board of Trustees, friends, family, and fellow graduates. It's an honor to welcome you all to the 18th QQI American College Dublin conferring ceremony. My name is Jesse York, and I'm graduating today with an MFA in creative writing. And like you, my degree will be stamped with the name and the seal of the American College Dublin. If you look closely, you'll notice there's a small inscription at the base of the seal that reads, Ad Astra per Angusta, through difficulties to the stars. I like that. I like it because I don't imagine anyone in this room came to be here tonight without passing through some measure of difficulty. Some of us left our jobs, our countries, our cultures, our languages, some at great financial risk. The question is why? Why here? Why now? I remember when I first arrived in Ireland, I was picked out by my American accent. People would ask me, why Ireland? The question struck me as rhetorical. That is, it answered itself. Why Ireland? Because it's Ireland. But as more and more people asked me that, the more honest I had to be with them and with myself. And what I came to find, and I imagine it's the same for everyone in this room, is that just prior to coming here, my life presented me with a crossroads. Two paths running in divergent directions. Perhaps you found yourselves confronted with two similar diverging paths. Or perhaps you had more than two paths. Or maybe you had only one path and you decided to veer from it and create your own. But regardless of how you came here, each of us chose this path because it offered an opportunity to do something out of the ordinary, something extraordinary. And it certainly has been an extraordinary experience to have studied here, to have honed our respective crafts in this beautiful college and in this beautiful city of Dublin. But this experience is more than just a degree. It's part of life's ongoing journey of self-discovery, where new knowledge and new experiences give rise to new passions, where sacrifices made and challenges surmounted yield to a greater awareness of our innate potential. But perhaps more than anything, this experience is proof that no single person holds all the keys to their own destiny. And by that I mean to distinguish between the sacrifices made by us and the sacrifices made for us. I know ultimately our degrees can only carry one name on them, our name. But if they were to accurately reflect the contributions of everyone involved, I doubt there'd be space enough, even using the back, to contain them all. So as a token of our gratitude, and on behalf of my fellow graduates, I'd like to acknowledge the support and sacrifices, whatever they may be, of our friends, our families, and of course the entire staff of the American College Dublin, who've lent both their time and expertise to making this moment possible. Thank you. Now, without taking anything away from what we've achieved, for many of us there exists the lingering question of what next? We've certainly passed through difficulties, but I doubt any of us have yet to reach the stars. So let's ask ourselves, what is next? This is the point in most commencement addresses where the speaker begins to regurgitate a ceaseless amount of cliches about how short life is and how we should live each day as though it were the last. But the only problem is, life isn't that short, except maybe in hindsight. And living each day like it were the last makes no sense unless it truly is. And since most of us don't know when that day will be, I suggest we take a slightly different tact and try simply to see it for what it is. We can start by addressing the issue of time. Time is neither short nor long. It's neither too short for us to be reckless with it, nor too long for us to take it for granted. Therefore, I suggest we begin each day, not as though it were the last, but as though it were the first. And that we reflect upon each yesterday and apply it to today, tomorrow, and the rest of our lives. Let us not just hope for the future, but let us plan and prepare for it, so that tomorrow becomes the yesterday that makes today possible. Likewise, let us not ignore regrets. They keep us honest and they keep us humble, and they usually indicate that we took a gamble, even if we lost. Life is a mixture of joy and sorrow. Let us smile when appropriate and cry when we need to. We can't be ashamed of feeling. It's our feelings that make us human. And remember, without pain, some of the world's best music and poetry would never have been written. But without happiness, there'd be nothing to look forward to. Also, let us know that while the best time to do the right thing is the first time, the second best time is this time. Let us not obsess over our poverty, our failures, or our past. And let us remember that there are riches and there is richness. Let us learn the difference and ignore anyone who tells us money can't buy happiness. Money most certainly can buy happiness if it's spent right. If we want to be interesting, we have to first learn to be interested. We must be curious. We must ask questions about things, but especially about other people. And when we speak, let us be mindful not only of what we say, but why we're saying it. There are those who talk mostly about themselves, and they're usually boring. There are those who talk mostly about others, and they're usually insecure. Then there are those who talk about stirring ideas, compelling books, and bold aspirations. These are the ones that stimulate, that fascinate, and inspire. Let us be that person. Let us show the world that we have both talent and taste. Let us not forget to read. Read for pleasure, but also read for knowledge. And as with books, so with friends, we can choose those which merely entertain, or we can choose those which make us better, more intelligent, more appreciative of the good and the beautiful in the world. Ad astra per angusta. Many difficulties lie ahead, but so too do the stars. So to the class of 2013, congratulations. And in the words of an old Irish proverb, may the most you wish for be the least you get. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse, for a wonderful address. I'd now like to invite Dr. Maeve Martin to come to the podium and present the statement of directives for the QQI conference.
Agini Ushla, Arsana Kurashta, a Walham Saforcha, a Car, Rivgoptina Tabada, and Shahanu, Egan Okod Kilerusha. Good morning to everybody assembled. Good morning to you all on this very joyous celebratory occasion as we are about to confer the QQI awards on the graduates who have so diligently worked towards their degrees, and we rejoice with you as you are present at the 20th conferring of this international college. Just before we get into the formal part of it, I think it's interesting for those of you who've maybe not familiar with the Irish language, but in our introductory remarks we begin with Agini Ushla, which translates as "O noble people." So I want you to know that we hold you all, or see you all, as an assembly of noble men and noble women. So I think maybe people do not frequently translate, they translate mostly the remarks but not the salutation, which is, as I say again, Agini Ushla, O noble people. So it's a pleasure for me as a trustee of the American College to welcome you all, because today represents the culmination of your hard work, of your commitment, of your sacrifice, and it also puts our young graduates on the threshold of a life, I hope, of fulfillment and the creation of capacity for others, because every graduate has immense privilege by dint of the fact that he or she is a graduate, but in turn, I think that brings with it a responsibility to create capacity for others, maybe of less privilege or less fortune. So you're very, very welcome indeed. You will see, and already Dr. Ross has introduced, the international flavour of, when I say the international flavour, the international dimension of the Irish American College. The Irish American College is unique in the Irish landscape, bringing together as it does the creativity and innovation and the characteristics of all that is excellent about American scholarship and American teaching and learning. And that has not sat alongside, but rather has been fused with the traditional Irish approach to education, or now European approach to education. So the graduates of the college, I think, are extraordinarily fortunate in that they've had reaped the benefits of a European degree and will attain an award that has